Jetro has released a no-nonsense guide to GTA 6.
GTA 6 is set in Vice City with two main protagonists, Jason and Lucia. It was confirmed this week by Take-Two's earnings call that the game is set to release in fall of 2025, which is anywhere between late September and early December. It is only being released on the Xbox Series consoles and the PS5.
This is exactly how we saw GTA 5 come out in September of 2013, and it was only available on PS3 and Xbox 360, with PC seeing a release 2 years later, which a lot of industry insiders are believing is going to happen the same way, where we'll be seeing GTA 5 on PC in 2027. I don't know if they're going to wait that long again. Who knows?
So no PS4, Xbox One, and no PC at initial launch. The game is believed to be a Bonnie and Clyde inspired story, meaning—
He mentioned as well about initial launch. I don't think we're ever going to see a PS3 and Xbox 360 release. It simply doesn't make sense. GTA 6 is going to be built on current hardware, not decade-old hardware.
That Jason and Lucia are a couple that commits crimes together. But those two similarities are probably the only real connections between the game and the iconic couple. Now, based on all of the evidence we have so far, it seems that without a doubt, Lucia's actress is Manny L. Perez, known for her roles in Law & Order and some other various TV shows, as well as already having some previous work in GTA 5 already. But Jason's actor, on the other hand, doesn't have enough info yet to definitively say who it is, but so—
Okay, so it looks like Jetro's not going to actually show the video clip where the voice actor was actually asked about GTA 6, so let's run that real quick. Okay, so this is an unofficial clip posted by a fan channel showing the voice actor speaking with video game journalists.
Apologize, because I was looking over the questions and everything, and I don't know who does the IMDb for you. Because when Mike said
down his Grand Theft Auto, and I was so excited to ask you that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So essentially they're talking about the fact that on her IMDb page, which is the Internet Movie Database page, it shows that she worked on GTA 6, or at least it showed that she worked on GTA 5, but because of Rockstar's NDA, she seems to be concerned that it comes across like she's leaked GTA 6.
On your IMDb?
What does it say?
It says Grand Theft Auto 5 video game Clubber 2 voice. Yeah, you might want to talk to somebody about that.
Oh, Clubber 2?
Mm-hmm.
I see, when I do voiceover, sometimes I don't know what I'm doing and they just hand me a script. Was it a casino? Because I did do a voiceover for a casino thing, but I don't know what it was for.
So this realistically is how it actually works with voice actors. They don't always know almost anything about the project they're working on. All they know is this is my character and this is the role that I have to play. Either way, this is more than likely the voice actor for one of the protagonists of GTA 6. Going back to Jetro's video.
So far, the best bet is either Dylan Rourke or Jake Silberman. Now, a lot of people also get confused on how we know his name is Jason, since it's never been mentioned officially, and it's because we found out the name through the 2022 GTA 6 leaks. As far as the map goes, it's currently being accurately mapped by the GTA 6 mapping project using methods we'll talk about in a little bit, but so far the map is about 2 times the size of GTA 5's. GTA 6 was codenamed Project Americas, and its map was originally supposed to have elements of both North and South America present, but it was later downsized due to technical limitations. However, because of this, it was stated by a well-known insider that GTA 6 is believed to have its map expanded upon over the years within future updates.
Of course, this makes complete sense given that we're in 2025 now. Live service games, which GTA 6 will probably end up being, live service games are expected to have evolutions of physical locations, character progression, and so on.
So now, with going over every detail we know about the actual game itself, the only logical next step is to look at what we found out in the 2022 GTA 6 leaks, and it was a lot. On September 18th of 2022, 90 leaked clips of GTA 6 development footage were posted on the GTA forums that gave us our best look into new features, mechanics, characters, weapons, and so much more. From these leaked videos, the community was able to put together a 64-page document that included every finding from the leaks.
Now, the reason why you can't find this document very easily is simply because, especially on YouTube, Rockstar is infamous for taking down videos that shows the leaks. They'll do what's called a DMCA strike, which is a Digital Millennium Copyright Act strike, which essentially shows that GTA owns that material and they do not want it being broadcasted on public systems like YouTube, for example. So they'll use copyright to take it down, and therefore most YouTubers are essentially talking about what they're seeing without showing what they're seeing.
Which I will leave down in the description if you want to look at it yourself. But for those who don't, here is what we found. We found mention of 8 new characters: Dre, Sam, Wyman, Billy, Tit, Zach, Kai, and RB Shaw. We also found the mention of 2 gangs, a Haitian gang called San for San and the Guardia brothers. And there was also a mention of a far-right militia as well, but the group working on the document didn't know if it was considered a gang or just people we might meet along the way. As far as item goes,
I do wonder how that's going to play out, because since 2013, especially in the US and of course across the globe, but politics have definitely, the political landscape has changed. I wonder how far GTA 6 is going to extend into that. I think it can be very risky though. However, especially given how mass audience GTA 6 will be, it's going to have players of all different viewpoints of the political spectrum joining in. Last GTA 5, of course, they both mocked liberals and conservatives. I'm not sure how GTA 6 is going to approach that.
There's a lot of evidence to suggest that Lucia will be a hacker of some sort, and it's because of the items that we found, some of which include an auto dialer, binoculars, an immobilizer bypass, cutoff tool, painkillers and trauma kits, which are most likely used for heals, a pool cue, food and drinks, USB drive. The Slim Jim is very interesting because this is a tool that's used for breaking into cars.
Okay, so realistically, this document is simply showing us items that are going to be more than likely used for missions in-game, for example. Nothing massively surprising. GTA is going to have things like lockpicks and jammers and radios and all these sorts of things that are used in general criminal missions.
Which implies that stealing cars is going to be a lot harder in GTA 6 than just pressing Y and breaking the window to get in. Moving on to weapons now, while a lot of older, already seen weapons from previous games will be returning, there are a few new ones they found as well, which include the smoke grenade, the spear gun, a polymer pistol, which may also introduce metal detectors in stores or jobs, and flashbangs. Based off the leaks, it also seems that the weapon wheel has also gotten a huge revamp, with an added section for grabbing stuff out of the already mentioned duffel bag / backpacks.
So yeah, essentially the inventory system is apparently going to be a bit different. It's not going to be quite as overpowered. Let's be real, GTA 5, you can pick up a grenade, an RPG, an assault rifle, a pistol, an SMG, a shotgun, all in the same 2 seconds. It's not very realistic.
You can use to carry items that you found, which obviously means that the RDR2 looting system is also making a return. But on top of this, it probably means that you're going to be limited in what you can carry around without a bag. So gone are the days of carrying an entire army's arsenal with you in your back pocket. There was a few activities found as well that are pretty self-explanatory. You have golf, fishing, races, scuba diving, and dice.
I'm excited to see what scuba diving is going to look like, actually, because realistically, scuba diving involves having a whole area to explore underwater. Does that mean that we're going to be seeing more marine life potentially? Obviously, we'll have boats. We've seen that boats in GTA 5 already, but you can't actually go diving with those boats. You can just sort of sail essentially on speedboats.
There was also mention of some van shipments, some robberies of certain stores, and deliveries the player may have to do as well. So one of the hot topics or even debates at this point that I've seen a lot of people make over the years is that there was a claim by someone that,
as the leak suggests, 70% of the buildings are enterable. Do you guys think we'll be able to rob people living inside those buildings? I think if the NPCs are more alive and have a life in game, just like NPCs in RDR2, they might be living in those buildings and we will get to enter the floors and rob them. That cop body cam video suggests that we may be able to force our way in some locked doors. That's a feature maybe, I don't know, but it'll be cool if that happens. Yeah, personally, I think 70% of the buildings is a lot. I would be incredibly impressed if the devs on GTA 6 have been able to optimize the hardware to allow players to go that far in depth.
70% of all buildings are going to be enterable. And while there is no evidence to support that number directly, it was discovered that a total of 157 interiors just in the leaks were found, some of which include the Malibu Club.
Okay, so we have Malibu Club, the Pawn Shop, Jack of Hearts strip club, supermarkets, bars.
Pawn shops, strip clubs, supermarkets, bars, restaurants, apartments, and laundromats.
Okay, so this is definitely more than GTA 5 has to offer for sure, given that GTA 5 has a very select few number of buildings that you can actually enter. Things like some banks sometimes, but usually not. Then you have corner shops that you can enter. I don't think you can even enter the gas stations. You can enter some theaters, but generally speaking, like restaurants and stuff are off. Then you can also go into barber shops. I'm thinking about all the things. There's not very many. The only place where you can open most or a lot of buildings is in GTA RP, which of course Rockstar bought the rights to, I believe it was 5M last year.
Now again, we don't have an exact number of how many there are going to be, but I would feel pretty confident in saying that GTA 6 will have the most enterable buildings of any GTA game to date. Now, even though there will be a lot of buildings that won't be enterable, they will have a lot more of an immersive feel because of a new Take-Two patent that works on AI generating interiors.
Wow.
We actually think that we've already seen this technology in the works with the trailer, as there is a lot of apartments that are fully furnished, but to think that we can enter each and every one of them is probably unrealistic. But either way, they will have a more immersive feel with thinking that it looks like someone lives there.
So what I'm noticing there, especially a few frames ago, was that you have apartment buildings
interiors.
with
we actually
balconies.
think Take-Two be enterable GTA game to date. Now, even though there will be a lot of buildings that won't be enterable, they will have a...
So you can see right here, I think this must be in the trailer, probably a frame of the trailer. If you can actually go out onto the balconies, that does add a level of realism. I'm just thinking about being able to like hear the TV in the apartment, especially in a multiplayer setting, and being able to watch down on realistic NPCs driving around, talking, etc. That will be a level of immersion that we do not see in GTA 5. When you think about the apartments in GTA 5, they're pretty standard. There's not really dynamism going on at all.
Recently as well, I have been getting a ton of questions about the new GTA Online, and honestly, we don't know a whole lot, but here is what we do know. Leaks, there was a clip that was shown that showed two developers in a session together, both of which were just spectating, but the lobby read 2 of 32 players. However, with that said, there was also a new patent filed a while back by Take-Two that detailed a system for seamless lobby switching.
Hang on, this says that would mean the map is filled with 180 players, but instead of all of them being in one single session, they are spread around 6 different sessions. Note that these numbers are not accurate and just examples used to explain the system, which may mean that you have different districts potentially of the GTA 6 map that will allow a certain number of players each.
Switching. Because of the sheer scale of the map, the patent details how the map will be split up into a number of different sessions, with the seamless switching from one section to another just by passing said borderline. But going back to the map for a little bit, I mentioned earlier that it was absolutely massive, and it is. And here is how we know that for a fact.
Let's keep in mind as well that GTA 5 came out again in 2013. It's been literally over a decade's worth of technology. We're seeing games like Fortnite, obviously, with 100 players in their lobby. I think having 100 players at this point is very possible, and especially given that Fortnite is so intense when it comes to having the shooter mechanics involved, the building, etc. GTA 6, I'd imagine, will have slightly less player interaction involved, which might make it easier to fill up more players.
And it is. And here is how we know that for a fact. In all of the leaked clips, there was a black bar at the bottom of the screen, and in this black bar were coordinates for where the player was standing relative to the Rage engine. Using these coordinates found in the leaks, the GTA 6 mapping project is using them to outline and create a realistic landmass for the map. Now, moving on in the leaks, we know that there is going to be a bunch of collectible items in the game, but 2 of which we know to be collectible hats, as well as Wyman's car parts, who, again, Wyman is an already mentioned character. Of course, as well, we also have a bunch of new and returning brands, but they don't serve much purpose, so I will just show them up on screen. And again, same with the animals. However, there was mention of something called a skunk ape, which, if you don't know, is a cryptid otherwise referred to as Florida's Bigfoot, meaning the Bigfoot myths for GTA are most likely to continue. Now, some of the new gameplay additions include walking in cover, going prone, loot bags like we already mentioned, the ability to cover your face with your weapon.
Okay, so of course all of these are purely combat-based additions.
And my personal favorite is that it seems that instead of just dying after being hit with a fatal blow, you will instead go down, to which you will either be revived by potentially taking the painkillers we mentioned, or possibly getting help from the other protagonist. You can also switch shoulders while aiming, grapple during fistfights, communicate mid-fight with the other protagonists, as well as a ping system, and you will also be able—
So they've essentially learned from multiplayer now, especially in combat games like Warzone, Fortnite, probably PUBG as well.
able to lean or even sit on the car window while you shoot.
That feels very much like Warzone and Fortnite.
Also seems as though that the Eagle Eye system from Red Dead Redemption 2 will be returning, and it seems most likely that it will be Jason's ability rather than Lucia's. And to end it off, you can also carry bodies, rob and threaten random NPCs, and obviously pick up items found.
So essentially that means that you're going to be able to kidnap NPCs and potentially other players in multiplayer. I feel like that would have to be a role play or a what you've seen in 5M before type of deal, but we'll see.
Now, moving on to some new gameplay systems, we have money laundering, which is definitely new, purchasable businesses, which was already in GTA 5, robberies, hacking, again, that's probably Lucia, commanding your partner / protagonist, sharing items, as well as a fully revamped
witness system and police recognition. In the Hank's Waffle robbery, you can see under the wanted level stars written full description, which implies the witnesses have a full description of you. Once Lucia enters a police vehicle, you can see written no vehicle description, which quickly changes to full vehicle description, which suggests that the police have a full description of your vehicle. Also, the text prompt on the top left side says any vehicle you are seen entering will be known by the law. So essentially, I think this means that if you're in a car chase with the police, that if you manage to escape the police, you can't enter that same car, otherwise the police will recognize that you are in that stolen vehicle and you'll go back to your 2 stars or your 3 stars in wanted level. That's definitely a level of realism that makes escaping the police a bit harder. I mean, it's not going to be impossible, but
witness system. Now, this system seems to be based on a description-based model, meaning that if NPCs see you commit your crime without wearing a mask, for example, they will have a full description of you and will be able to report it to the police. And the same works for your vehicle as well. Some of the new features include the ability to play without a minimap, which is one of my personal favorites, a complete
Okay, before we go to that makes me wonder then, does that mean that if you're, for example, robbing a store in GTA 6, that you're going to have to, quote-unquote, take care of, say, the shopkeeper and other civilians, maybe even walking by the shop? That will definitely add a new dynamic that GTA 5, you can so easily game that system so that you don't really have any issues with police.
Revamp of the wanted system, like we said, CCTV detection, which adds a whole new element to the game, the ability to restrain NPCs, looting vehicles, more realistic crashes and handling of cars, which the GTA 4 driving fans—
that is going to be irritating. You can see in the video with Lucia driving Viper on the highway that the car crashes are more impactful with more parts like the front fender splitting apart and the hood bending realistically. You can also see spark particles at the impact with the edge of the bridge. Does that mean that we're going to have to be better drivers in GTA 6? I don't know. Okay.
Will be happy about. More control over other elements in your car, like the radio, windows, and maybe seats, for example, I don't know. A working GPS in the car, and the option to enter the passenger seat. Again, I just want to quickly remind you that this was
okay, that's going to be hilarious. So if you can just enter in the passenger seat. In the video with Lucia entering in a vehicle, she enters only in the passenger seat, implying this is an option. Also in the video with her in the same car pointing her gun behind her, you can also see her in the passenger seat. So does that mean that you could technically hijack a vehicle with an NPC in it and then ask them to drive you somewhere? I don't know. That would be realistic in a real criminal world, but who knows?
And to enter the passenger seat. Again, I just want to quickly remind you that this was all just stuff we found in the leaks. It doesn't mean that this is going to be everything about the game. It's just everything that we know. But in case this wasn't already obvious, the attention to detail in this game will be immense, and this section in the leaks is quite long because of that. So I will list off a few very notable examples that I found. In one of the leaked clips, Lucia shoots a cop, which the cop then struggles to get up while also making sure not to put pressure on his body where he got shot. Now, when random NPCs are attacked, they also now run with their phones out in order to call the cops, rather than the wanted level just appearing. And the last one that
So does that mean then if you see an NPC getting out their phone to call the cops, that if you neutralize, let's say, that NPC, that you won't have any cops after you? I don't know. I know that we've seen a police dispatch time mode where essentially it is now a countdown rather than you automatically getting 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars, etc.
I thought I'd bring up is that NPCs are also way more aware, as they now know when cops show up to a scene. The leaks had discovered over 300 different interesting events that can be possibly found throughout the world. There's also believed to be a train station and usable trams within the game as well. But when it comes to locations, I feel like I should tell you about all the real-life locations we've seen depicted in the game, like the Miami Airport, Lone Depot Park, King of Diamonds nightclub, which was renamed to Jack of Spades, the Solar Amphitheater, and the Crandon Park Tennis Stadium. And
here's the thing, we've actually seen similar themes in GTA 5 already. When they said about Miami Airport, I'm thinking about LSIA, Los Angeles International Airport, I think it is. We're already seen a lot of these locations in GTA 5, so I wonder how they're going to be reimagined in GTA 6. As an example, GTA 5 with LSIA, you couldn't actually enter the buildings really. You could go into the airspace, of course you could hijack airplanes, but you couldn't go in, you couldn't do, say for example, a heist at the airport or a robbery or anything like that. I think that would be quite complicated, but maybe Rockstar will be able to make that happen in GTA 6, where you can enter things like the interiors of the airports.
And again, many more. The next thing that people are immediately gonna think is, when is this game coming out? And obviously, we don't know for sure yet. It was confirmed in the Take-Two earnings call on February 6th that GTA 6 is still on track to release in fall of 2025. But release aside, there's another aspect that I want to quickly mention as well, and this is for all my RP enjoyers. Now, it's safe.
Okay, so if we're going to talk about the fact that Rockstar bought out 5M, then
to say that RP isn't going anywhere. Obviously, it won't come out until the PC launches, most likely in 2026, but we know that
I wouldn't say that's obvious necessarily. I mean, they could still release it on console.
Rockstar in 2023.
Obviously, right now, 5M is a PC modification, but realistically, that's just because you can't modify on the console anyway.
We purchased CFX.RE, who...
Now, there are a lot of concerns when it comes to CFX.RE being acquired, simply because, and I know this for a fact, that a lot of server owners, a lot of city owners are worried about things like IP violations, that sort of thing, because, you know, a lot of people make money from custom vehicles being put into the game, and I honestly don't know how Rockstar is going to handle this. I genuinely think they are going to be heavy-handed about that, but the other thing is, hopefully they haven't just acquired CFX.RE to shut it down. I mean, technically speaking, I think they could just shut it down anyway, but I'm hoping they're really going to do something with the technology that CFX.RE has built.
Who are the creators behind 5M and RedM, the program used for GTA RP. GTA RP seems to be something Rockstar looks to expand on with GTA 6, and they are using CFX to get it done. Now, it has been said, however, that the
no, we were basically treated like poo since the beginning, and in the end, they got rid of all of us by putting us in an extremely toxic environment where we had to suffer from major mismanagement, lies on a regular basis, lack of any communication, lack of internal transparency. Even despite all this, Rockstar still had an opportunity to handle it very properly, and they didn't. Okay, well, keep in mind this is by a former employee. Who knows it? Like, we don't know anything here. However, I don't know where this has come from, and that kind of potentially confirms some of my suspicions that it's not going to end up the way that a lot of the RP community wants it to.
Company and Rockstar have had somewhat of a falling out, and whether Rockstar acquired them just to own that part of the market, we will have to wait and see. But it seems unlikely that Rockstar would just abandon the concept for GTA 6 especially given how popular it's become since 2020.
I completely agree. Rockstar is developing tools and platforms for modding. Rockstar is working on a project called Rome, Rockstar Online Modding Engine. Presumably, this is a full-fledged editor of user modifications. This was told by the creators of the 5M server for GTA Online, who were first hired by Rockstar and then fired some of them. According to the former creator of 5M, Rockstar Games plans to integrate tools for creating modifications to the game, as well as make them compatible with consoles. Okay. He added that the mod editor will be tested in GTA 5 in the fall of 2024, and its full version with advanced features will be added to GTA 6. Okay, so that's very much what I think a lot of the modding community and the RP community would want to hear. I do wonder, though, what has come up when it comes to the differences between CFXRE and Rockstar for them to literally fire those people.
However, we did find out with some job listings from Rockstar that they are working on their own creator platform, codenamed Rome. So it seems likely that
kind of makes me think now, if I think about it. So Rockstar Online Modification Engine. So does that mean that we're going to have something a bit similar to Fortnite's Creative 2.0, or that is a possibility, but I feel like Epic Games is a lot more equipped to make that, given that Epic Games is literally the technology provider for the majority of both the gaming industry and some of the film industry too. I don't know if Rockstar has it like that, but if they do, by all means.
That GTA 6 isn't going to just focus on RP, but it will also be making a huge leap into user-generated content.
So we're going to be seeing UGC. Rockstar Games is reportedly cooking up extensive mod tools to enhance the GTA Online experience once GTA 6 launches. Now, again, this does make sense to me. I've always thought, when I played GTA 5 RP, I've always realized how much of a model this really could be for revenue generation, especially given how Shark Cards has really done a lot for Rockstar when it comes to GTA Online. They weren't even expecting it to do like that. The Rockstar CEO made very clear that they weren't really planning to do much with it. It was a last-minute addition, but of course that has broken records for revenue generated by it for GTA Online. There is no way that Rockstar is going to put that money on the table. If Shark Cards had that much interest, imagine what it'll be like having an economy basically within GTA 6 Online, much further than Shark Cards. If you know about GTA 5 RP, you know that people will pay for real estate, they pay for cars, they pay for all sorts of things, and I'm sure Rockstar would love to take in a percentage, if not all, of that revenue
as well. And there you have it. That is all of the info that we currently have about GTA 6.
So that was the no-nonsense guide to GTA 6. Honestly, a very good no-nonsense guide. A lot of information there. I am very excited to go into the files that these creators are looking at to give my own first thoughts and impressions, and also analysis on what we're seeing here. GTA 6 will more than likely, I assume, see some sort of promotional material during the summer. That's when I expect that we might see a new trailer. We'll find out if I'm wrong very soon. It's only a few months away. I cannot wait.